Hello, my magnificent radiant Leo souls. Welcome back to Cosmic Wisdom, your sacred space for illuminating the divine path written in the stars just for you. I am so deeply grateful that your spirit has guided you here to this very message at this very moment, because we are about to journey into a truth that is absolutely critical for you, my powerful sun-kissed lions and lionesses. Pause with me for just a moment before we begin. Find a comfortable space. I invite you to place a hand over your heart, the very center of your being, your personal sun. Take a deep, intentional breath in feeling the golden light of the cosmos filling your lungs, charging every cell with courage and radiance. Hold it for a count of 3. And now exhale slowly, releasing any shadows of doubt, any whispers of insecurity, anything that does not serve your highest, most brilliant self. Feel your royal shoulders relax, because the universe has orchestrated this divine appointment, a sacred conversation between your soul and the wisdom that is about to unfold. Have you ever felt it, that profound, almost instinctual fire that ignites within your chest when your light is questioned? That visceral urge not just to speak, but to roar your truth when someone dares to cast a shadow over your brilliance, to refuse with every fiber of your being to be overlooked or disrespected. If that sacred fire resides within you, and I know it does, then the message we are about to explore together is not just important. It is essential for the magnificent next chapter of your soul's evolution. If you are ready to claim your true, unshakable sovereignty, I want you to make a sacred pact right now. In the comments below, let me know you're here by typing, "I control my own light." And if you haven't already pressed that subscribe button, not just as a click, but as an anointing, a declaration that you are ready for the wisdom that awaits on our shared journey here at Cosmic Wisdom. Because my beautiful Leos, in the coming days, specifically the next 3 days, the cosmos is preparing a unique kind of stage for you. And on this stage, someone may try to dim your spotlight. They will likely choose their words or actions with a chilling precision designed to test your very radiance. They might try to take credit for your creative fire. They might question your generosity. They may even attempt to make you feel invisible, small, unimportant. And let me tell you, every part of your magnificent regal Leo spirit will scream at you to reclaim that stage, to shine so brightly you blind them, to unleash your full power and show them and the entire world exactly who is the true king or queen. But here is my most heartfelt plea to you, my dear radiant souls. Please do not do it. I implore you with all the love in my heart, do not give them the dramatic performance they are so desperately trying to provoke. Because this is not just some random petty slight from an insecure soul. This, my friends, is a divine test. It is a cosmic coronation. And if you fall for this beautifully disguised trap, you risk losing something far more precious, far more lasting than a moment in the spotlight. You risk losing the very kingdom you are destined to rule, the unshakable kingdom of your own inner peace. There is a profound distinction we must understand together. There are the everyday tests of life, the challenges the universe sends to see if you have the strength and courage to fight for your dreams. And you, Leo, have passed those tests with flying colors 1,000 times over. Your courage is legendary. But then there is a test from the divine itself. And when the divine tests you, it is not looking to see how loudly you can roar. It is seeking to discover if you have cultivated the wisdom not to. Right now, in this sacred window of time, you are not facing an ordinary challenge. You are being tested by a higher cosmic intelligence. And the only way to pass this test and receive the crown that awaits is to do the absolute opposite of what every single one of your powerful, fiery instincts is demanding. You can likely feel it already, can't you? That subtle shift in the air, that feeling that a performance is about to begin, that a challenge to your throne is imminent. That feeling is not your ego playing tricks on you, my friends. It is your magnificent intuition, the inner sun of your soul, which has already sensed the trap being set. It has already felt the energies gathering to create a moment where you will be forced to choose. A choice between your pride and your peace. A choice between a fleeting, dramatic scene that proves a point and a quiet, regal stillness that proves your mastery. A choice between shining for the applause of a temporary audience and embodying the eternal, self-sustaining radiance of the sun itself. The provocation that is coming your way will feel deeply, personally insulting. It will be surgical in its ability to wound your pride. The person or situation orchestrating this knows exactly where your heart is most tender. They understand the precise words or actions that can make you feel unappreciated, unseen, or disrespected. They know that for a soul as generous and bright as yours, the deepest wound is not hatred, but indifference. They have likely watched you consciously or not. They have seen how you thrive on recognition, how you blossom under praise, and how your spirit recoils when your loyalty or creative gifts are ignored. And that, my beautiful soul, is why this is a divine test of such monumental importance. You are about to be placed in the most counterintuitive, the most challenging situation imaginable for a Leo. To have your light deliberately ignored, yet be required to choose not to create a scene. To have your generosity taken for granted, yet need to choose not to demand gratitude. To be challenged on your own stage in your own kingdom, yet need to choose not to enter the battle. It goes against the very fiber of your magnificent Leo heart. It contradicts your deep need to be seen and to shine. And that is precisely why it is the perfect test for the profound level of spiritual royalty you are now stepping into. You are simply no longer at a stage in your journey where you need to scramble for the spotlight. You have moved beyond the place where every creative act requires a standing ovation, where every act of generosity must be publicly acknowledged. You have evolved past the desperate need for external validation. However, your ego, that beautiful, proud, and sometimes vulnerable part of you, hasn't quite received the memo. It still operates on the old programming, the old belief that your worth is directly proportional to the amount of applause you receive. The next 3 days are a celestial portal, a moment where the universe is asking you to lovingly teach your ego a new, more powerful truth. Something will happen. It might be a conversation at work where your idea is presented by someone else. It might be a social situation where your presence is deliberately overlooked. It could be a subtle comment online or an infuriating act of being taken for granted. In that moment, all your internal alarm bells will ring and you will be presented with a few clear choices. The first choice, and the most obvious one, for a magnificent Leo, is the royal proclamation. You will be tempted to use your commanding presence, your eloquent words, and your undeniable charisma to publicly correct the injustice. You will want to put this person in their place to ensure that everyone in the room, everyone online, everyone in the kingdom knows the truth and understands that no one, absolutely no one, gets away with dimming your light. The second choice is more subtle, but in the context of this divine test, just as problematic. It is the theatrical performance of success. This might look like you suddenly posting your most glamorous photos, your biggest achievements, your most radiant moments on social media. It might be you recounting your recent triumphs to mutual friends, ensuring the news of your brilliance gets back to the person who slighted you. You might even make a point of being extra fabulous, extra charming, extra radiant in the coming days. In essence, you will use your life as a stage and your success as the script to argue against the slight. While this appears less confrontational, it is still at its heart a reaction. It is still a performance driven by a wounded pride. And then, my dear Leos, there is the third path. And please hear me when I say this is the only path that leads to your true coronation. It is the path of sovereign stillness. It is to do absolutely nothing, to allow the comment, the slight, the act of being overlooked to exist without giving it any of your precious golden energy, to let their shadow pass without feeling the need to ignite your own fire in response, to continue living your beautiful, creative, generous life with profound peace and purpose without feeling the slightest compulsion to prove your brilliance to anyone. This is the path that will feel almost impossible, defying every one of your instincts. But trust me, my beautiful soul, it is the only path that will lead you to a throne far grander than any you have ever imagined. For my radiant Leos, born between July the 23rd and August the 1st, this test will likely center on your core identity and your natural leadership. Someone may directly challenge your authority, ignore your guidance, or act as if you are not the leader in the room. For those born between August 2nd and August 12th, the provocation will target your boundless generosity and your grand vision. Someone might dismiss your big ideas as impractical, or worse, take your kindness for granted, making you feel used and unappreciated. And for my passionate Leos, born between August 13th and August 22nd, the attack will feel even more personal. It will target your creative fire, your passionate heart. Someone may belittle a project you have poured your soul into, dismiss your artistic talent, or mock something you are deeply passionate about. But regardless of the specific form this celestial test takes, its fundamental purpose remains the same. You will be deliberately placed in a situation where choosing regal silence will feel to your ego like an act of defeat, where not reacting will feel like you are agreeing that your light isn't bright, where maintaining your profound dignity and inner calm will feel like you are letting someone else steal your spotlight and win. And that, my magnificent friends, is precisely where the cosmic genius of this trap lies. Because in the deeper spiritual reality, not the fleeting reality of the ego, but the eternal reality that governs the cosmos, confident, deliberate stillness is the most powerful, most regal demonstration of power imaginable. It is the power of the sun. The sun does not roar to announce its arrival at dawn. It doesn't need to. It simply rises and the world is illuminated. Its power is in its very being, not in its announcement. Your calm stillness speaks volumes without uttering a single word. It declares to the universe that you feel no need to prove anything because you have an unshakable internal knowing of your own brilliance. It means you feel no desperate compulsion to defend your light because your worth does not depend on anyone else's fleeting opinion or limited vision. There is no need to roar back because your mere presence, your authentic radiance, already commands a respect that words can never capture. Leo, let me share a profound cosmic truth with you. The person who will try to dim your light in these next few days already knows how bright you are. They know you are charismatic. They know you are talented. They know you are a natural leader. That is exactly why they are trying to provoke you. Genuinely confident, self-assured souls never need to extinguish another's candle to make their own flame seem brighter. Only those who feel deeply intimidated by your radiant, effortless light will attempt to cast a shadow upon it. So, in a beautiful, ironic twist, the provocation itself is a cosmic confession of your immense power. In the truest sense, you have already won before the game even begins. But your ego, bless its beautiful protective heart, doesn't see it that way. Your ego perceives this provocation as a threat to your reign, a challenge that must be met with overwhelming force, a war for the throne that must be won at all costs. And if you allow your ego to take the lead over these next 3 crucial days, you will do exactly what this person and their insecurity wants you to do. You will foolishly drain your golden creative energy away from building your beautiful kingdom, only to fuel a petty, unnecessary, and energetically draining drama. Leo, I know that as you are listening to these words, you are likely feeling a powerful mix of emotions. A significant part of you is probably bristling with righteous indignation at the very idea of someone daring to overlook you. Another part is already scripting the perfect, witty, devastating comeback you will deliver. A small primal part might even be feeling a thrill of excitement at the prospect of a dramatic scene where you can once again prove your star power. But then there is that other part of you, the quieter, wiser, more evolved part, the part that is the true king or queen within. And that part is whispering softly to your soul, suggesting that perhaps, just perhaps, true enduring power lies in the profound regal wisdom of doing absolutely nothing at all. This might be the very first time anyone has ever told you that choosing stillness is not a sign of weakness, that deliberately ignoring a slight is not an act of surrender, and that preserving your own sacred inner peace is infinitely more valuable than winning a battle for external applause. I fully understand how incredibly challenging this message is for you to hear, because every part of your magnificent Leo nature screams the very opposite. But I need you to do something incredibly powerful with me now. I need you to consciously acknowledge this intense inner debate and transform it into a sacred, unwavering commitment. In the comment section below, right now, I want you to write this powerful declaration: I choose my evolution over my ego. This is not just a sentence, my beautiful friends. This is a royal decree. It is you consciously and powerfully planting a seed of sovereign wisdom that will fortify you when the test arrives. And by writing this publicly, you are not only making a sacred vow to your own soul, but you are creating a magnificent court of other radiant Leos who are choosing to make the same courageous, liberating decision. What makes this particular test so exquisitely challenging is the sheer injustice of it all. The provocation will likely be deeply unfair. This person may twist the facts, ignore your contributions, and use half-truths to build a narrative that minimizes your importance. And your regal Leo heart, with its innate sense of honor and fairness, will crave the opportunity to set the record straight. You will desperately want to ensure that everyone knows the truth. You will feel an overwhelming urge to restore balance and correct the distorted picture. But here is the profound truth that your soul needs to anchor itself in right now. Your light, in its purest form, does not require a defense. It simply is. The people who genuinely know you, who truly see your heart and your generous spirit, already know your worth. The people who are quick to believe a negative narrative that diminishes you were never truly in your corner to begin with. And most importantly, the people who are silently watching from the sidelines are about to learn something far more profound about your character from your silence than they ever could from a passionate, defensive speech. When you consciously choose not to react to a deliberate provocation, you are demonstrating a level of emotional mastery, regal self-control, and unshakable inner confidence that commands a respect far deeper and more enduring than any dramatic confrontation could ever hope to achieve. You are in essence signaling to the universe and to everyone around you that you operate from a higher plane of consciousness, a place where petty games and external opinions simply have no power to touch the core of your being. A place where your inner worth is so solid, so self-generating, so radiant that it requires zero external validation. This does not mean the provocation won't sting. Of course it will. You are a being of immense feeling and passion. You have a glorious and healthy pride. When someone attacks your creativity, your generosity, or your very presence, it is natural to feel a surge of anger, a pang of hurt, a wave of righteous indignation. But the profound difference between the Leo you are becoming and the Leo you once were is this: you no longer feel compelled to build a whole theatrical production around every single emotion you experience. You now possess the incredible capacity to feel the fire of anger, yet still consciously choose the warmth of peace. You can acknowledge the deep hurt of being overlooked without allowing it to dictate the script of your life. The next 3 days will specifically test your ability to create a sacred conscious space between the initial stimulus, the slight, and your response, between the external provocation and your internal reaction, between the raw feeling and the deliberate regal action or non-action. This space, my magnificent friends, is where your true freedom is born. It is within this sacred pause that you will discover that you are not controlled by the audience. You are not a puppet whose strings are pulled by the opinions of others. You do not and never have to perform on a stage that someone else has set for you. The person who provokes you will in all likelihood misinterpret your regal silence as their victory. They will pat themselves on the back, believing they have successfully upstaged you, silenced you, and won some imaginary competition for the spotlight. Let them have their fleeting, hollow moment. Because while they are celebrating a victory in a petty, meaningless game, you, my powerful Leo, are quietly and profoundly ascending to a level of consciousness, a throne of self-mastery that they cannot even begin to comprehend. Leo, there is a monumental difference between being broken and wisely choosing to bend, between being defeated and strategically choosing not to engage in a pointless drama, between being afraid to roar and possessing the profound wisdom to recognize which battles are beneath your royal station. For these next 3 days, you are not being tested on your ability to shine. Your radiance has never ever been in question. You are being tested to see if you can consciously choose not to perform even when every part of you craves the stage, even when you know you could absolutely steal the show and win. Because here is a profound truth that only the wisest kings and queens understand. Some victories are won by refusing to go to war. Some crowns are earned by bravely refusing to enter the petty squabbles of the court. Some kingdoms are built and secured simply by refusing to participate in the destructive dramas that seek to tear them down. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, is offering you a chance to win in a way your ego cannot yet comprehend, but your soul, your deepest, wisest self, recognizes this as the highest and most enlightened path. If you succumb to the powerful temptation to react to create a scene in the next 3 days, several things will happen. First, you will inadvertently validate the very narrative they are trying to create, that you are dramatic, that you are easily provoked, that you are controlled by your need for attention. Second, you will waste your precious golden creative energy on something that genuinely does not deserve even a flicker of your inner flame. Third, and perhaps most tragically, you will lower yourself to their level, proving that they did in fact succeed in pulling you off your throne and onto their chaotic, messy stage. But most importantly, you will miss out on the incredible blessing, the profound coronation that is patiently waiting for you on the other side of this test. Because divine tests, without exception, always precede significant elevations. They come before new levels of creative expression, more authentic and loyal relationships, and unparalleled opportunities for leadership. The universe needs to know unequivocally that you can handle a bigger kingdom, a brighter spotlight, without letting your ego run the show. It needs to see that you have matured enough to wield greater influence with wisdom, grace, and a quiet, unshakable confidence. If you fail this test, if you roar back, if you fall into the trap, it does not mean you have lost forever. It simply means you will be tested again, perhaps with a more challenging scenario, until you finally learn this invaluable lesson. The universe is infinitely patient, but it is also relentlessly persistent. It will keep presenting you with the same curriculum until you master it. On the other hand, my magnificent Leos, if you courageously pass this test, if you maintain your regal, dignified silence, if you consciously choose your sacred inner peace over a fleeting moment of egoic victory, if you powerfully demonstrate that you have evolved beyond the need to prove your light to anyone, then prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for life-altering, magical shifts. Doors to creative opportunities you thought were sealed shut will suddenly swing open. People, a true and loyal court, who value your mature, wise energy, will miraculously appear in your life. Opportunities that require not just your talent, but your most evolved, self-possessed, regal self will manifest before your very eyes. I want you to understand, with absolute clarity, Leo, that the next 3 days are not about the person trying to provoke you. They are entirely and completely about you. They are about which version of yourself you choose to embody in that pivotal moment. Will it be the reactive version, the one that needs to be the star of every scene? Or will it be the sovereign version, the one who knows its own brilliance without needing a single person to applaud it? Will it be the version that fiercely fights for every inch of the stage, or the version that understands that its true kingdom, its inner peace, is untouchable? Will it be the version that roars desperately to be seen, or the version whose confident, radiant silence commands more respect and awe than 1,000 dramatic monologues? The choice, my friends, is yours and yours alone. And that single choice will define not only how these next 3 days unfold, but the entire trajectory of your reign in the coming months and years. Each test is a crossroads, a moment where you decide which reality you wish to inhabit. The reality where you are constantly pulled into the dramas of others, or the reality where you are the absolute, undisputed sovereign ruler of your own sacred, unshakable peace. When that moment of provocation comes, and trust me, it will take a deep, centering breath. Count to 10. Allow yourself to feel the fire of indignation. Acknowledge the sharp sting of hurt pride. But do not, under any circumstances, act on those immediate emotions. Wait. Let them wash over you like a summer storm, powerful but temporary. And then, from the calm, serene place that always exists beneath the surface, the eye of the storm, consciously choose stillness. Choose dignity. Choose your own profound and unstoppable evolution. You will feel that intense, almost irresistible urge to grab your phone and fire off a response. You will feel the compulsion to write that perfect, clever, devastating social media post that will put them in their place. Don't. Every single time you feel that urge, remember this profound truth. It is not a display of strength. It is, in its clever disguise, a moment of weakness. True, undeniable royal strength lies in possessing the immense power to completely upstage someone and then consciously, deliberately choosing not to, choosing instead the path of self-mastery and peace. In the most challenging moments of these next 3 days, when it feels impossible to remain silent, I want you to pause and ask your soul this simple, powerful question. What do I truly gain by performing right now? Does my inner kingdom become more peaceful? Does my soul's light become more authentic? Does my life truly transform in a positive way? The answer, my friends, will always be a resounding no. Reacting only gives you a fleeting hit of ego gratification while costing you your lasting, invaluable peace. And you, Leo, have come far too far on your magnificent journey to trade your permanent golden peace for a fleeting moment of cheap theatrical satisfaction. Your powerful roar, your radiant smile, your captivating presence, these have always been your trademarks. But let me tell you, there is something even more powerful. It is the ability to win the battle with a single, devastatingly brilliant performance, and yet choosing with profound wisdom not to even step onto the stage. It is being so utterly secure in your own light that you feel absolutely no need to defend it against anyone's tiny shadow. These next 3 days will reveal whether you have truly internalized this transformative truth. And I believe in you. I truly believe you are here listening to this because your soul is ready to pass this test. Because your higher self knows that the time has come to transcend the limits of the ego and to embrace the true enduring power that comes from a spiritually mature, sovereign heart. When these 3 days have passed and you look back, having chosen the path of regal stillness, you will feel different. You will feel stronger in a way that no applause could ever provide. You will feel more confident in a way that no external validation could ever achieve. You will feel more profoundly at peace than any dramatic victory could ever bring. And you will know with crystal clarity that you passed this crucial test not in spite of not reacting, but powerfully and precisely because you chose not to. Because you chose your higher self. You chose your crown. If this message has resonated in your heart, if it has found you at the perfect moment, then I urge you, share your intention to pass this test in the comments below. You don't need to share any details. Just affirm powerfully and unequivocally that you choose your evolution. Your royal decree will not only strengthen your own resolve, but will also inspire countless other Leos to make the same courageous, liberating choice. And please, if you have not already subscribed to the Cosmic Wisdom channel, these 3 days are just the beginning of a much larger, more profound journey into your sovereignty. You will need reminders of your true strength guidance to maintain this new awareness and encouragement to keep choosing wisdom over drama. Turn on those notifications so you can receive our continuous support and insight. The next 3 days, my incredible Leos will define the magnificent sovereign ruler you are undeniably becoming. And I already know deep in my heart which choice you will make. You wouldn't be here shining your light on this message if you weren't already profoundly ready to transcend. The test is coming, and you, my powerful radiant friend, will pass with flying colors. Go forth and be brilliant in stillness.